Hi, my name is Lucia Veracruz from allformoms.com, where I help moms break the vicious cycle of overeating and dieting. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to stop binging at night. When I asked my clients what were their biggest struggles when it came to overeating, most of them responded that trying to control their urges to binge at night were the most challenging. And often they didn't have a problem making healthier food choices or not eating at all during the day because they were busy. And so this happens for several reasons. And one of them is that they don't nourish or hydrate themselves frequently during the day. Another one is that they don't know how to break this habit. Another one of the reasons is also because they are restricting, controlling, or measuring the amount of food they are eating because they want to lose weight. And lastly, because they use food to suppress their emotions when they are feeling stressed, tired, or bored. There are steps that we can take to reduce or prevent the urges to overeat by being proactive. And there are also steps that we can take to manage those few that still arise by reacting to them in an appropriate way. I just love the saying, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. Because often when we are in an autopilot and we are not present or mindful, it's no surprise that we end up doing what we always do, because doing otherwise would require a lot of effort. Often when we start a new diet or a meal plan, we get really motivated and excited about the recipes that we are going to do and the meal prepping. However, as soon as we don't see the results fast, we give up and we end up going back to our old ways. And what I have noticed that most emotional eaters are perfectionists and they have this all or nothing attitude. So if we can't put in 100% into following these strict rules, we just do nothing. And so it's really important to try and aim for balance, not for perfection, and just try and get more organized with what the day brings and what we will be able to eat that will satisfy us and that will be nourishing. And keep in mind to aim for being healthy rather than restricting what we eat or controlling what we eat because we want to lose weight. So if you are one of these people who never eats anything all day and you end up binging at night, maybe it is a good idea to just try and add one meal one day at a time rather than setting yourself up for failure, having to eat 3 or 5 meals a day, which can seem quite overwhelming. We wouldn't let our children go without food all day or snacks or water because we wouldn't want to release the hunger monster and face the tantrums at the end of the day. Yet we do it to ourselves. By being hungry, dehydrated, tired, and stressed, we are less likely to make healthier food choices, and we also will have more challenges dealing with difficult situations in a mature way. I often hear people say that they don't feel like having breakfast or they don't feel like having lunch, that they are not hungry. And I don't think it is because they are that way. I think it is because that's the habits that they have created, and these habits make them desire those things that they are used to doing. For example, 20-something years ago, I used to wake up and have black coffee with 3 teaspoons of sugar and a cigarette. And so I didn't just keep going with this because this is what I felt like doing, because that didn't align with what I was trying to achieve, which was respecting, honoring, and nourishing my body. And so it is really important to break these old habits that don't work for us anymore and focus on creating new ones that by repetition will become automated and effortless. So yes, ditching the cigarettes, the sugar in a coffee, and having to eat breakfast when I didn't feel like it was a lot of effort. However, repeating this process, it has stored in my brain as a response that gave me hunger cues in the morning. And so now I felt like having breakfast when I woke up instead of having the cigarettes. And so step number 1 is get organized. Prepare your meals, your snacks, your water, and your treats for the day. And once you are used to having breakfast and lunch, making sure that you have a proper, satisfying afternoon tea is crucial, especially if you tend to start overeating as soon as you get your foot in the door, and you just mindlessly get to the pantry or the fridge and you reach for anything that comes your way. And that brings us to step number 2, which is breaking our old habits that don't serve us anymore. And we can do this by being present and by consciously changing these old routines into new ones. For example, if you are used to having a glass of wine or a bag of chips before you have dinner, start by nourishing yourself throughout the day, having a proper afternoon tea, and replace the wine with a glass of water or a hot drink or a glass of milk in order to break this cycle and create these new habits. And then there is step number 3. You will need to ditch dieting for good. Restricting, controlling, and trying to count the amount of calories you had throughout the day will only lead to more overeating at night. So it's really important to start breaking this cycle today, regardless of what happened last night. And then there is step number 4, which is if you are still experiencing some urges to overeat despite following steps 1 to 3, it would be perhaps helpful to look at what emotions are you trying to suppress with eating. And could you sit with those emotions and wait for them to pass? Or how else could you manage them instead of reaching for food? All of us wish to be healthier and slimmer and stop overeating. Yet are we willing to do the work that is required for us to get there? If we don't take the right steps, we will keep believing that to overcome our urges to binge are impossible because of our willpower or because of our personality. But are we willing to make the effort and get more organized so they don't happen in the first place? And so if you need a little bit more help in breaking your old habits and finding motivation and drive to create new ones, I have prepared a free training video with the link just below this one, where you will be also able to schedule a call with me where we can talk about your situation, what is it that you want to achieve, and how I can help you get there. So if you like this video, click on the like button or subscribe if you want more helpful tips on how to overcome emotional and binge eating. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more training videos on how to overcome emotional eating and achieve balance forever.